All right, good morning. How you doing? So, next slide. First slide, next slide. Bonjour, this is all the French I know. So I want to take you on a story, and I want to tell you about Superman, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Willy Wonka, Frank Sinatra, and the movie Ratatouille. So, let's start. I'm in the business of knowing a lot of weird people. So that's kind of my thing. It has been for ages. So I know this guy. He lives in the southern part of Spain in Andalusia. And he's like one of the last remaining hippies. And he's in his hammock one day, and he reads the newspaper. And in the newspaper is a story about the original Superman comic. And the story is that it gets sold for $1.5 million. And he looks at this newspaper and he thinks, oh, that's kind of weird, because why is it worth $1.5 million? Well, because there's only one, right? And then he thinks, people in the digital age, they don't have that kind of stuff anymore, right? You can't auction a YouTube video. So he calls me up because he thinks, well, he's digital, that guy. And he says, there's no scarcity in the digital world. So we say, all right, we agree on that, let's think about it. So I huddle up a bunch of nerds and say, all right, guys, there's no scarcity in the digital world. We need to fix this, we need to fix this. And then we think of something very cool. And that is that more guys ask their girlfriends to marry them at the Eiffel Tower than at Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Next slide. And then the next. Oh, there's Superman. Oh, yeah, hammock and scarcity. Next one. Oh, well, all right. So there are more guys who ask their girlfriend to marry them at the Eiffel Tower than at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, why is that? Because location is important, yeah? Because you would never, well, maybe you would, but then you're a really weird fucker if you ask your girlfriend to marry you at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Next slide, please. So what we figure out is a system called REPUDO. And what it basically does is it gives digital objects a GPS location. All right? So you attach a piece of digital content to a GPS location. And we make them unique because when people actually have to go there to pick them up, just like a real object, and if they want to pick it up, or if they pick it up, it's off the map and into the phone. So what we've created is the perception of scarcity, right? Because quick example, Lady Gaga, she's playing Bercy Stadium tonight, and she's there, and she records an acoustic version of Poker Face. She puts it in the stadium and goes on Twitter and says, oh, I've put an acoustic version of Poker Face at the stadium, come now. And all the friends in Paris, they run and they scream on their bicycles, and they go there, and the first one to pick it up actually has that song. How cool is that? All right, next slide, please. So it works on iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry. Why the hell did we do that? Next one. And the cool thing about this is I always really wanted to be Willy Wonka, right? Who doesn't want to be Willy Wonka? Because he was the greatest marketeer ever. I was raised very capitalistically. Where's Willy Wonka? Next slide, please. Oh yeah, there we go. So Willy Wonka, because he's the greatest marketeer ever, right? Because what he actually did is invent REPUDO. Because he had the golden ticket. And there was only one golden ticket, right? And every marketer in the world wants to be Willy Wonka. Because it's the best guy ever. Next slide, please. And it turns out brands really want to be associated with Willy Wonka. So we did all these crazy cool campaigns for all these people, and I just want to highlight one, and that's KLM. So next slide, please. And I had a video here with Come Fly With Me, because it's an airliner, but the video died somewhere along the way. So I'm just going to have to tell you about it. So what we did is KLM hosts these like deal weeks in which they give away, or not give away, in which they discount like really cool airline tickets, like at huge discount rates. And so they wanted to create buzz for that. Who doesn't? And so they called up us and say, hey, do you have a good idea? So we said, yeah, we have a really cool idea. And this is what we did. We, across the Netherlands, where I'm from, we scattered the entire country with virtual objects. And some of them had actual tickets, right? So you could go out on the street and find yourself and your girlfriend a ticket to Barcelona or Johannesburg. But some of them didn't have tickets, but to cope with the disappointment of not winning, we put in the ones that didn't have tickets, you could share them with two friends, and if you shared them with two friends, you had a chance to win trip to, I guess it was New York, for 3 people. But you actually had to go to your friends. So you had to go out into the wild to find the tickets, and then you had to go to your friends and let them tap your phone or be close to you because they had to physically touch you to join the campaign. So what we did is we took social into the real world. So in 24 hours, everything was gone. We dropped like 12,000. We dropped like 12,000 REPUDOs. They had the highest sales week of all time. For the deal, so it was a great, successful campaign. Next slide, please. So I want to end with this. Has anybody seen this movie? Yes, it's a great movie. It's Paris. I love this movie. Anyway, I think most people treat their customer like the rats from Ratatouille, because we think they're lazy fuckers and they just want to be handed food and garbage, and that's like kind of what marketing's been about. But there's this one little rat who actually wants to become a chef, right? It's a beautiful story. And he works hard and works hard and works hard and works hard. So what I tried to do is create technology that turns consumers into that little rat, right? The one who wants to work for his stuff. Because we all think we're now we're behind screens, we don't want to do anything anymore. But that's not true. We see it on a daily basis. People are ready to run for you, ready to sweat for you. They're ready to move for you and do their best for your brand to do something cool. And that's why we need to treat all the people like the rats from Ratatouille and give them really, really, really cool stuff and let them sweat for us. That was my story. I have 35 seconds left. Thank you.
Wow. Excellent job. All right. We're going to get Eustace up. If you want to come up and put on his laptop. We've been having some clicker problems, so now we're giving people laptops. Lucas, where'd you get the energy?
I don't know. We lost a football match yesterday.
Right. Let's not talk about it. Do you need a moment?
No, I'm okay.
Are there any questions in the audience? We got a little minute here. I'd like to just jump on some questions. Anyone have any burning questions about location? I'm very interested in this idea of the KLM. You drop them. Do you do that on the servers where you drop? Like, how do you determine the location? Is it done via GPS, or do you put in coordinates? And did KLM give you the coordinates of where those would go?
Yeah. So
it's not random.
No, we can do random, but then you get like weird situations where people get into the water. Someone actually got arrested. That was a great story. Yeah, so since people got arrested, we didn't make them random anymore, so yeah. And we usually go for we have these huge location APIs now.
Okay, well, who got arrested? Why did they get arrested?
All right, so there was a singer who put out a exclusive track 2 days ahead of the album launch, and we dropped it all over. And it turned out we dropped it inside of a forest that was like where protected birds were, and this guy was going through the forest looking for the fucking track. It's bizarre. And anyway, we get a call from EMI saying, "Hey, somebody just got arrested," and they called us. So we said, "Yeah." No
so did they climb over a fence or something?
Yeah. So
okay. So how do you stop it from going like on top of people's houses and things like that? You
don't, but it doesn't. In most cases, it doesn't measure height.
Okay, so it's not measure height. It's only on the ground. It's only at ground level.
Yeah, you could measure height. Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't put it on the top of a penthouse in an apartment building or something like that.
Yeah.
You could not do that.
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
But normally we don't, because we don't want to get the people running on top of houses.
Running on top of the houses.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready? Yeah. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.